Hi friends, this is Sarah from Crafting and Relaxing, and today I'm bringing you another segment in my Blue Journal series. This is sped up about 3 times and I cut out the miscellaneous chatter. I was talking to Andy.mess across the way, so she was on the other side of the table, so every once in a while I would stop to chat or show her something, so it might be a little choppy, but you'll get the idea. The Blue Journal, if you recall, the point of it is it's my junk journal. It's for me. It's my favorite stuff. That, right, what I'm taping together right there is a wedding invitation and using blue washi. So even though the invitation might have been the rehearsal dinner or something, even though it's not blue, it brings me joy when I see it. This may not be the journal with the most interesting techniques or that sort of thing, but these are papers and bits that I have hoarded specifically from my journal. So that's the point of it. I think as crafters sometimes, especially me, I make a lot of things for other people and I don't stop and make something for myself. And that becomes evident in how infrequently I post videos of this journal. I don't think I've worked on it without you guys. So that gives you an idea. Sometimes I do a little bit more work after I shut off the camera, but it's not like I'm working on it once a week or anything. Probably not even once a month. In this, I had that piece of tissue paper that had, I think it was a paste on it, and then a sticker that said anything is possible. And my friend, I think it was Andrea, somebody threw out those wood circle stickers. I like wood. I love circles. I kept them. Here, this is a funny thing. I'm using a bottle of alcohol ink. That day I was out in the shop. I didn't have the mixed media cart with me, and I wanted to get something down in my journal and create and just put stuff in there and not worry about using certain techniques or using certain products. So I just sort of refused to get up and go in the house and get the mixed media cart with all the fancy products. So I made a background with the bottles of alcohol inks that were sitting there. I think one or two of my friends was using alcohol inks at the time, and so that's why they were sitting there. Then I used the washi. I just got color on the page. Then I used matte medium to glue the washi down. Washi doesn't stick really well, especially to super smooth paper that's not stable. So depending on the washi you're using, sometimes you'll see me add a touch of glue. Then somebody had colored pencils, so I just took colored pencils and went around those and just scribbled up the page. That was all like Tiffany style. Southern gals, she does that a lot. Just gave myself a background to build on. Some color, some interest. Like I said, it wasn't about techniques or products, and I think we get caught up in that a lot, right? Here I'm using my Clear Star Jelly Roll pen, which I use for almost all my cards, but had never really used in my art journal. You can create with anything. If you're in a boring meeting and you have a black pen, you can create. It doesn't have to be the latest products that you see on YouTube or the latest thing you saw in a haul. We get caught up in that, don't we? Those wood laminate, they're stickers, but I thought this book is, well, my first ever journal that I sewed together, so it's a little bit sketchy and not very stable, and I thought that glue would help them, and I just love those. I don't know where they came from. I don't know if you can buy them, but they are super fun. And once I looked at them, I realized I probably could have taken alcohol ink or something and put color on the rings. I like them natural, but I bet the options are just endless. I only had one sheet of them, so I don't know that I have more. But they're super fun, and I loved it off the page a little. It just brings me joy, and that's the point of this book, is to mess with things, try them. Normally, if you had said, I'm going to make an alcohol ink colored pencil washi background, I would have been like, whatever. Again, I'm going back with the colored pencil just to add some dimension and lift around those circles. The chaos in the background that you might hear is the dogs wrestling. At least there's no growling, but they're having fun. So they're just lifting that up a little, adding some interest, just messing around and having fun. And I think sometimes I forget to do that. I think I do it in my cards. I sort of relax and follow what inspires me, but sometimes in art journal pages, I'm thinking about a new technique or a new product. There, I took a quote and shoved it in the envelope that was in there, and I might circle back and attach those at some point, but for now, I'm just trying to keep track of what I want in my book. This is a piece of tissue paper that ended up with some really juicy, wonderful paint pour stuff on it that I wanted to use. And again, there's no rhyme or reason in this book. And I don't have a rule for myself that I have to work one page at a time. It's just things that I've been hoarding and wanted to save. In one of my prior series in this blue journal, I used a note that my sister wrote me let me just say, I'm not 38 anymore, okay? It's been a little while. And that thing had been on my bulletin board. So I think that if you're saving stuff, if you're a saver like me and you're putting it in drawers or boxes, it's more fun in this. I love that sticker, anything is possible. It was out of one of my friends' trash or donate craft supply things. I had to go back and glue it because I stuck it to a wet page. Okay, common sense says that's not going to work very well, but it looks cool. Then here I'm using some of that plastic web stuff that I got at the free art supply swap, and I cut it in a circle and I stuck it to the page with art glitter glue. And I probably should have used beacons or glue dots, but in the end I got it to stick. It wasn't a flat page, it wasn't a flat piece of webbing. It was a lot to ask from art glitter glue, so I had some troubles with it. But I took the matte medium jar, which that would have been a good thing to use probably too, and just set it on there, and then it held it flat. So I don't think I had to add any other adhesive. I just couldn't get it to stick and set. See, I even tried washi and it just lifted back up because the webbing itself had a crinkle in it. And that's what's great to learn about art journals is what will stick and what won't. So if you're working on a big canvas project or a gift for someone else, you learn, see, isn't that the most fun? Those paint pour papers, I saved the blue ones. And that teal and purple thing next to it is a paint skin that I glued in there. There's, like I said, there's no rhyme or reason. It'll end up with fun quotes or journaling or maybe nothing, just bits of paper that I love that brought me joy. I keep them, I toss them in the basket and toss them in the basket, and then when I have time to work on this journal, I do. And I add to them. Then I'm flipping through trying to figure out, I love, out of all my die cuts, this isn't even mine, and it is my favorite die. It's a Spellbinders that my friend got at Tuesday morning, and I should probably just go online and find it and buy myself one so that I could actually return hers. I love the star background. It has the negatives and the positives, so you get to use them for lots of different stuff. I like it for cards. I like it for art journals. Stars. I like stars. So there I have a vellum with stars on it and stars over it. And you might look at this book and say, there's no rhyme or reason, and there's no graphic design on the page or layout. Yeah, I don't care. This book is just totally for fun. And if you haven't done a project like that lately, you should do one. You should do one where you just take things you love and glue them down, because let me tell you, it will make you happy. That piece of paper that I'm gluing down right now is from some backgrounds that I made. These are all just bits and pieces. Sometimes when you make a card, you have a 1/2 inch strip or an inch strip. Same thing here. This was a strip from a pocket I made. Same thing. Oh, that is paper. I can't remember what brand it was, but it was 4th of July paper, and I loved the red, white, and blue floral, and I made cards with it. I only bought a couple sheets of it because at the time I thought, well, I have so much stuff that needs to be used up. I should have bought the whole shelf. But that's all I have left, I think. So these are just scraps, some of my favorite scraps, and then a stamp from something that I got in the mail. I really look at my junk mail and envelopes differently than I used to. It's actually fun to get junk mail. You never know. This is obviously a paint sample thing. I think my mom had these, or maybe I did. I don't know. I honestly don't remember what was going on with these, but it was blue, so I kept it. And I liked that it had the white stripes between them. It was just fun to put in the book. This page, you'll see it in a minute. I love how this page turned out. So it has the mint green background, And then I've put, remember the glue gun incident with the crayons and the glue gun? Mine didn't go as well, but Andy.mess, hers went well. And so she gave me some of that paper. And so I've glued it to this page. And then that's what that strip of speckle is. Then I have a piece of fabric and a piece of washi tape. So a lot of different texture. And then I put stars over the whole thing. That page, it just makes me happy. And that's the point, right? Okay, this page is going to look crazy. But again, these are things that bring me joy. What I just put down was a strip of a distress oxide background that was left over when I made a card. I made the background, used a stencil and inks and everything, and then it was left over. Then I put a tiny strip of a book page that was left, a piece of ribbon, but I made it crooked. See how I like scooched it a little? It's not something I usually do because usually we are trying to make everything straight. This black and white paper is from the note that my sister wrote me that's on a different page. So when I see that paper, makes me happy, makes me think of my sister. This next one, see, these aren't all blue. This next one is from an orangey color theme card that I made for a friend using, what did I use for that, you guys? It might have been scribble sticks because she likes orange and I needed a card for her. So that's what that one is. And then I tested out a new tomorrow up there, and then for some reason I didn't put it there. I don't think there's a logic. And that's okay sometimes, right? Just to have a great time and mess around. When I work on this book, there's no plan. I just take the basket and the book, and this day I only grabbed the art glitter glue. Probably should have used the beacons because some of this stuff, it's really a chore for art glitter glue, but it did well. This says be the good, and it has colors that I like and circles. I always prefer circles and stars over hearts and squares. That's just me. I use squares and rectangles a ton on cards, don't get me wrong. But in a project or as the focal point, I just love stars. They're just fun, and circles. Here, that's another strip of that paper, or maybe it's the same one that I made the pocket with. I think it was distress oxides and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I just wanted to fit it in here. Eventually I'll run out of space. A new tomorrow went on the page that I did my watercolor test on. I'm not going to be a watercolor artist, you guys. It's just not going to happen. These stars I've been hoarding forever. Love them. It wasn't something I made. It was probably easily purchased 10 years ago before there were so many die cut machines. And so you paid, I probably paid like $1.79 for that page or something. But I love it. And I've used it on a lot of projects, and I just hoard it for myself because I know that most people would rather have florals than blue stars on their card, and that's okay. Saves them for me. Let's see, random chatter. I have a couple of cool giveaway ideas coming up. Christine, thank you so much for your idea. I think what I'm going to do is take a set of paper, make embellishments with it, as minimal as I can. I'll probably use some foils and some other stash from my stuff, and then I'll use that as a giveaway. So it'll be partly made by me, and then you'll have supplies to work into it. So if you don't have that collection, you'll definitely have paper that matches. There's that blue washi tape with the cats on it that I bought that doesn't match anything, but it cracks me up. I mean, how could I not buy the blue washi tape with the cats on it? Anyway, that's my next giveaway idea, and watch for that. I would guess it would just launch a couple days after this video, somewhere around there. I'm not sure how many videos I have in the queue right now. This one I found, and I found another one that had been sitting there that I missed. Vacation threw me off a little, and it's a super busy time of year at work, so I guess things just got away from me. I forgot to actually release the videos to you guys. Here, this is an envelope from my husband, and I'm putting some sort of art paper that I got. I think it was from that art supply swap because it's gorgeous, but I have no idea where it came from. It has a lot of texture and kind of a handmade feel to it and marbled pattern on it. I don't know where you buy it. I don't have any paper like that, but it's super fun. This book would just bring me joy. Like if I was sitting around, okay, I love how this page turned out, you guys. These are blue stickers that Cat and Paws Gretchen sent to me in Happy Mail. And I knew the minute I saw them, I was like, oh, those are mine. Those go in my blue journal basket. And the circle is, honestly, I don't know what it was, but it's a piece of cardboard that I put acrylic paint on, painted it black. I don't know if I had a plan at the time, but then I found it sitting around. I think lots of times I start something and get sidetracked, so I can't remember what that was for. But when I saw these letters, I really wanted to give them a background to pop on. And my word for 2019 is rise. You can read about the whole word thing on my blog at craftingandrelaxing.com, but my word is rise. So I thought I would use these amazing blue letters, and I glued them because asking thin stickers to stick to a not perfectly flat piece of cardboard that has acrylic on it, that's a lot. So you probably want to add some glue. And I could have used gel medium, but art glitter glue was right there. Then look at that paper. That, I think, was from that art swap too. So I don't know where you get this. I don't know if they're supposed to be starfish or stars, but to me they're stars. And I love that paper. I think it's fabulous. I'm going to come back in a second and open that up so you can see it again and glue it down. There, we found the beacons. I don't know what was going on. Art glitter glue probably would not have held. Oh, it was from Sticker Mule, I think. It must have come with my order. It was supposed to be a coaster, and I painted it black. Art glitter glue probably wouldn't have held that, so I used some beacons. Love that. That's the final thing for today. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you're having a great week. Bye-bye.